All right, boys, we ready?
No.
Oh, well,
When have we ever been ready?
I think maybe twice. Maybe.
No.
You're usually ready way before we are.
Most of the time.
Waiting on you, high speed.
Dude, I'm not ready by the time we wrap this show. Like, I don't.
It's where he gets the best content. I mean,
I already have my intro piece, so we're good.
In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission, to bring freedom to everyone involved.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Doing a thing for the podcast.
Just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends Podcast.
My jungle love. I think I want to know you.
We need to release like a mixtape of all the
Just a weird musical
acapella
intro.
intros that we've been doing.
Last time I tried to do a hyper cut of one of our sayings. It did not go well.
Well, that was just the same saying over and over.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure even if you just took Jungle Love and repeated that 174 times, somebody's just going to report it out of principle.
But just imagine the TikTok dances that'll come from the singing of
You
this
know
show.
what? I bet we could put that one on Twitter.
Yeah, because Elon doesn't give a fuck.
Do we have a Twitter?
No, I didn't even bother. I'm still amazed we're on TikTok, honestly.
But I think you can say masturbate on Twitter.
But we could be on. You can just straight up have porn on Twitter.
It's a safe bet,
Yeah.
right?
Plus, this is new Twitter.
It's very true.
So how do you get your account suspended on Twitter?
I thought before it was just exist.
I think it's if you just say anything that's right leaning.
I thought it was just existing because they went and did that study or whatever and figured out that like 70% of all Twitter was bots. So I was like, I think you get your account banned by being human. Like if you're an actual user, then you get banned.
Well,
and that would be it. That would actually be kind of entertaining to watch.
Justin,
a Twitter that was entirely bots.
We should do
just
it. We
go
should
on old Twitter.
Yeah.
We should do a Twitter, and the only post we post every other day is the masturbate one, and just see if we can get banned.
Just see how we'll have a running timer.
Yeah,
and just see how long it takes.
I don't think we will. I bet the comments would be great.
For the 4 people that found our Twitter, yeah, I think that'd be.
I think it'd be along the same lines.
You might say that, but we've got like a bajillion people on TikTok.
We just need to at everybody that we want to see it on Twitter.
Did you go look?
Yeah.
On TikTok? Have you looked at our TikTok recently?
I still don't have a TikTok.
Caitlin got curious the other day and went and looked it up and was like, when the fuck did this happen? And I was like, what? And she showed me and I was like, oh.
Yeah, we gain almost like 150 or 250 followers.
Like, I'm not exaggerating. We're at like 47,000 followers.
47,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have 468,000 likes.
I'm not even on fucking.
We have one video that's almost at 400,000 views.
It's crazy. Yours.
We're fucking famous, boys.
I want some of that TikTok creator money.
I don't think China pays out, do they?
Oh, dude, you have to be so much bigger than us to get any fucking creator money. You have to have like the millions of followers marker. So
yeah, I don't know how to do that.
I will. I think if we start a Twitter, I think the comments will be along the same lines as the comments from our conspiracy video. Woo!
Where everybody just told us that
some people are
he's got a point. It was like,
yeah,
no, he doesn't. He doesn't have a point. He's just crazy.
TikTok took that video and threw it in front of every conspiracy theorist on TikTok, and boy, were they unhappy with us.
God damn it! I'm gonna have to get a TikTok.
You got to.
That was a crazy Uber, right?
Crazy Uber.
That was the crazy
Holy
Uber.
shit!
Scott.
447 comments.
Wow,
and they're amazing. It's literally all people telling us.
The top comment is, "It sounds funny, but it's actually true." It's like,
Scott, when you make your TikTok, you got to go to our page and read the comments from that video and our 1911 video. It will make your evening.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like 400 and something comments of just people saying that we're wrong and that cab driver's right.
I don't doubt it. I mean, maybe the cab driver was right. Who knows?
And you know what? For all of those people out there that decided that cab driver was right, we really appreciate you boosting our video so much.
Very true.
Oh fuck! I guess
you know what? Welcome to the Freedom Friends Podcast, boys.
Yeah,
brought to you by
Thank
warfightertobacco.com.
you. That's what I guess I should pay bills or whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, go ahead.
Kind of thinking about that.
You're crushing it, dude.
I was giving it a shot anyway.
No,
we'll
go
see
for
how
it.
it goes.
Yeah. I'm
Brought
just
to you by
gonna sit here and
warfightertobacco.com.
Think about that mustache ride.
Right?
Fucking.
Yeah, $5. Uh-huh. Use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet 15% off. Also brought to you by owellness.us. Is this still Freedom Friends 25?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Freedom Friends 25 gets quarter off your order there. And Icy Tech Coolers. And that's what? Freedom Friends 10?
Yep. 10%
For
off.
10% off your
So if you need a big fuck you cooler,
most necessary items in the great state of Texas. It's actually somewhat reasonable today because it decided to rain on us for the first time in like a week and a half. Ooh.
I haven't got $1 to tip.
Oh. That'll get you tongue.
Do I have to clear off this table right now?
No, I like it with all the stuff on it.
Right.
I don't like it with all the stuff on it because that bottle's going to land somewhere I don't want it to.
It's gonna add flavor.
So yeah.
So that's all the bills paid.
Yes.
I guess I'll say fuck boys because we're
Yes.
supposed to say that at the beginning of the show too.
That's all right. I'm sure the producer team can probably cut that in somewhere out of someone in
We
one of
might,
the previous ones.
You know,
There you go. There's the Twitter supercut. How many times can you say fuck boys on there before it's gonna
That'll get you banned.
so the algorithm with the whole YouTubes, we'll see. Because I think we might have surpassed the 30-second mark without saying fuck.
I think that's the longest we've gone.
I think so.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm going to blame it on Mikey then.
Right?
100%.
That's the piece of shit that always says fuck.
Yeah.
As
That's
the
him.
producer that watches this every time and like witnesses it, it's 100% Mikey.
We should have the whole episode just talking shit about
Wait a minute.
Mikey.
For once,
That
am I
would
not
not-
the piece of shit?
That would not be hard to do.
Well, at least once.
Fucking. I'm putting that in the wind column.
It's an early night, Jazz.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're
Good time.
very early in the show. Very early in the show.
We'll
buddy.
still prove that you're the piece of shit. So
I'll let you do that.
we got time. I need no help. I need no help at all. Oh shit!
So I shot some guns this weekend.
Like
Oh,
cool guns
God,
or
it was-
just like regular
I
guns?
shot-
It was great because
I shot the nicest handgun I've ever shot in my life, and I didn't think it was going to be that. It was
And that's a tall statement.
I've shot a lot of
I'm
fucking
gonna say,
handguns.
I
John
literally,
shot a lot of nice
a
handguns.
lot of
didn't-
nice ones.
I didn't have a response right away because I was processing that information. And I was like, "What the fuck
I've shot a
did
lot
you
of
have
nice ones.
possibly
I've
shot?"
Nighthawks. I've shot full custom race guns.
And I honestly did not believe you would come back and tell me that story.
Where did you go?
So the range at Austin did a Staccato demo day, and I
Oh,
shot
okay, that
the
makes a lot more sense.
Staccato XC,
Yep.
which is kind of like their ported full race gun. It had a red dot and everything that I
got to
want in a
I got to shoot
high-end
one
pistol.
at Alert.
Was it the XC or was it
Yeah.
a different model?
No. They had their whole lineup there.
Okay,
The whole thing, and it is
because that XC shoots drastically different than the rest of their.
no. So they had two
Handguns.
cases there, and you popped one, and it was all like their. They called it their issue carry.
Mhm.
I don't know where the fuck you are that anything staccato is an issued carry,
Some do it.
but fucking good because even those are sweet as shit. Like even just like their regular STIs are awesome.
I mean, that's a
But then they
$2,000
had
to
a-
$3,000 handgun, and most
Yeah.
departments will spend $200 to $300.
Yeah.
Right. So they had a case that had like 12 of those in it, and it was just sexy when they opened it because it was a big Pelican case. They opened it up and they were in there staggered.
Yeah.
So it was just like all the way across, and I was like, that's just pretty. Like if there's a lot of money right here, but having a case of them just in there, just bulk, it's just sexy. But then they had another case that had like the XC and the big
XL.
The XL.
the big race, but it was like so they had them the unmodified, like
Yeah.
the off the shelf ones. And then they had their race version so that you could see what happens when you like the difference between one and the
Yeah.
other. And sweet Jesus.
It was insane. Like I shot the target that they had hanging out had 1/2-inch squares, and like it was like just a big grid pattern, probably I don't know, 1.5 by 1.5 feet, and then there was like black dots around the outside of the target, and so I just put like the first like I don't know 4 or 5 rounds into one of the black dots. And I wasn't like trying. I was paying attention to the gun, seeing how it felt recoil, how it recoiled, how the dot moved, all that kind of shit. And then I kind of focused, and all the little holes in the paper were touching. And I wasn't like trying. So I'm like, well, this is was pretty fucking nice. So then I was just picking random little squares on the target. And I'm like, oh, that one. Bing, got it. I'm like, fuck. It was nuts. The recoil, the red dot barely fucking moved.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah.
From their standard issue ones to all the way up to their race guns and stuff like that.
No, it's a $4,300 pistol.
Yeah, those pistols, those handguns are one of those where like, yes, does it come down to a good shooter is a good shooter? You can give them anything and they should be a good shooter. But those are an example of like,
I'm not a good shooter.
Right. Those things are so damn. Those things are
I'm an okay pistol shooter.
Yeah, but you're not like a competition should own a race gun shooter kind of.
No, but
those things will literally go like, wow, nope, this is one of those. This is a piece of equipment that is so good. It actually does make me a better shooter.
I think I could be a grandmaster now.
Yeah, right. They are so good.
Careful.
Why?
Isn't that like also a KKK type of person?
No, that's Grand Wizard.
Oh, my bad. Never mind.
Carry on.
Carry on, sir.
So the greatest part about this for me was while John was out running these staccatos, I took the 308 that I got and ran over to the 100-yard and got that zeroed in real quick.
How's it doing?
What's that?
How's it doing?
Just a hair over MOA, less than 10 rounds through the rifle. So I'm perfectly happy with it. But I finished up and was walking back over to the range. I didn't see John out in the waiting area, so I figured he was on the range. And as I was walking over, he comes walking out of the range and he looks at me, and I just look at him. I'm like, so that just cost you a lot of money? And he just goes, yep.
Are you gonna get one?
No, but I'm not going to get one right now. I mean, I have no practical use for a $4,300.
When I met those dudes,
handgun.
he was like, come up. We'll do a full tour. You can go back and meet the engineers and whatever, and we'll talk, and we can get you the friends and family discount on the Staccato. And I was like, yep, never going up there. Because there's no fucking way. There's no way I could walk in that building and then get told that I'm getting the friends and family discount after I meet the motherfuckers that designed them and not come home with one.
The whole reason I wanted to go up there was,
and it's not far. It's in Georgetown.
It was like fucking Mike's Viper that was sitting in here for a while, right? That was like, oh, it's a beautiful car. It's sweet. It's got power, the whole nine, blah, blah, blah. We went for a ride and I was like, well, okay, got that out of my system. Don't fucking care anymore.
Yep.
And I was hoping that that's what it was going to be like with this handgun.
Right.
And I was like,
that's like everybody wants to own a Barrett 50 cal.
Until they get behind one.
Oh, until you shoot it fucking 10 times. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, now I have a $12,000 rifle that I want to try to sell because I would rather have $12,000 than to carry and shoot this fucking big goddamn thing around.
Same thing happened with me actually at Alert again. Yeah. It was one of those because they've got that 700 meter range out there that they can push out to. And I was up there hanging out and a guy showed up and had a Barrett and I'd never been behind one.
Right.
And I was like, and he was like, who wants to squeeze it? And I was like, fucking, if you're spending the money, we're like, fucking sure. We're like, why not? And got behind it. And I think I fired it 3 times.
That's all you need.
And I was like, all right, can officially say I've done this now.
So in the Army, I probably have logged, I don't know, 2,000 to 5,000 rounds through a Barrett.
Yeah.
And fuck that thing. Like literally fuck that thing. Like I've used it on missions. It's in a bag. You put it together when you get in a position. It's heavy.
Yep.
It's long. It's fucking loud.
Yep.
And it's not that accurate. Fuck that thing.
And that was and I think we were shooting at a target that was like 300 meters away. Yeah. And somebody else set it up. It's not even I didn't even have to like carry it to position, right? Like somebody else set it up, had the shooting mat out underneath it, like laid out in it. It was only like 80 degrees, like all the right, super easy shooting, right? The first round is exhilarating.
Yeah.
The first one you ever put through a Barrett, you're like, oh.
You learn a lot on that first round.
You do.
Keep your mouth closed.
Yep. You also learn real quick if your body is off angle behind that weapon at all. Because I don't weigh very much. Like I'm 155, 160 after a good meal.
I've seen a video of you shooting it once.
Yeah, and he just disappears off the screen. Yeah.
The 2 little midgets.
The 2 little midgets. Yeah. But my first round, I got behind it like any of my rifles, like even my larger caliber rifles. And so my body was a little canted. Yeah. I wasn't like directly behind the weapon and it pivoted my ass. And I was like, okay. So I like got behind it, squeezed 2 more out of it. And I was like, all right, that's all I needed. Like,
now, don't get me wrong. I would own one I would own one. I would not spend $12,000 to own one.
Oh yeah,
No.
don't get me wrong.
You know what I mean? Like for $12,000, there's so many. You could buy like 4 other guns that are like really cool that you could use
It's like 3 staccatos.
10 times more. Yeah, right.
I could build for
Then you
12
could-
grand. I
you
could
could
build
go
like 2
akimbo.
custom 50 cal, so like rifles.
Maybe 1,
Well, my big thing was it.
maybe 2.
You are
I'd
right.
probably get 2 without optics. I could probably get 2.
Well, without optics.
Well,
Oh,
12
yeah.
grand for Barrett's without optics.
Yes.
Well, that's
totally
Good point. They have iron sights. Fuck.
I'll put fucking toothpicks. I'll put cigars up there. That'll get me out to
But yeah,
1,000.
it's not that accurate. Because am I the best shot in the world? No. At 300 meters, though, I can put a round on target,
Yeah.
and that thing does not behave the way you want it to. Like
There's a lot of moving parts.
there's a lot of moving parts, and honestly, with a round that big and as big as that weapon system in 300 yards is just dumb. Like, why are you firing it at that distance? Like,
In our sniper section, we would only, I think our like unwritten rule was you don't engage a person past 600 yards with it because you just didn't know if you'd hit it.
yeah. And that was my first round. I put it in the dirt in front of the target.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay. Because I asked him what it was zeroed at, and he said it was zeroed at 200. And I was like, so I shouldn't have to fucking change
No.
anything. I should just be able to put this center on target and just pull the trigger. Then it hit the dirt in front of it. And I was like,
Now,
now
Have you
here's the
ever-
thing is
have you
I
ever-
didn't zero that weapon.
have
Somebody
you-
handed
right.
it told me it was zeroed.
have you ever shot a 7-stage trigger?
A what?
That's kind of how the Barretts are. You think it's going to go and it stops. You think it's going to go and it stops. You think
yes.
it's going to go and it stops. It has the longest fucking travel,
Yep.
shittiest trigger.
And the thing is that it's not a bunch of take up. It's
No.
like it's an inch long wall that you have to like pull that thing
Yeah,
through.
and it's not a
Yeah.
smooth pull.
Okay.
It like wants to stop.
I
Like,
thought there was like 7-stage trigger. I was like, man, I know I don't have the gun education that you guys do, but
They're new.
I'm pretty sure that's not a fucking thing. That sounds like some California shit.
But enough shit talking Barretts.
I really
they're very
liked-
nice people.
I actually really liked their AR replacement system.
Well,
They tried to
have-
replace the AR-15 with that Grindle round.
They did the 6.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really liked that thing. It was cool as shit, that piston drive system.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Well, they won the contract for the sniper rifles now too. So it's
But,
all the MRAPs or whatever.
yeah, but this was their AR system. Now this was, Jesus, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It was cool. Like, it was cool as shit. I liked it. Less moving parts. Didn't have to worry about the gas system.
Yeah.
Like, it was awesome. But it was also like, I think 4 times the price of the M4. So
Probably still cheaper than HK. So there's that.
yeah.
Yeah, valid.
How much was do we know how much the SIG one was? That
That
one?
one? Shitload. Which one?
Well,
the belt fed
so
or
you-
the,
The spear?
No, the new.
You have to remember when a company sells a rifle to the military.
Yeah, it's not at what I can buy it at. Like,
No,
it's
no,
a different
but-
beast.
Well, they sell it for it's a service contract for X number of years
Mm-hmm.
too. So it's not just like the cost of the weapon; it's the cost of,
Well, Colt had it for
That being said,
it was a
Sig-
50-year contract.
That being said, Sig sold the new pistols for like $250 to the military.
Yeah.
but there's a reason.
Yeah, so
And the reason is because all the other contracts they just won.
Right.
Yeah, they got everything.
Yeah.
According to Concord Monitor, the SIG contract is worth $6.5 billion.
Yeah, but I wanted to know per unit
Oh,
because that has to be because it's a public contract. It has to be like the per unit cost is there. Now it doesn't matter. It's like well, why can't I buy it at that? Well, because you didn't buy 500,000 units.
no, you could
That's
probably
why.
buy it cheaper. The civilian equivalent, you could buy it cheaper in most
right,
cases.
but that weapon system you could
Yeah.
never buy at that price because you're not buying 500,000 of them.
right.
But I tell you what, if you want a cheap pistol, call SIG and say that you want to buy 500,000 units. They're going to cut you a deal.
Yeah,
Like-
they will. They will.
Like if I wanted to buy 500,000 cigars, am I going to get them lower than retail?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. You think you could cut that deal for me? And it just so,
So
that's what I was just curious about is what
Yeah.
because I think we were paying like $340 a unit for the M4
I don't know.
or something like that with Colt.
the civilian version of the spear, the MCX spear, which is the new Naval Special Warfare,
Yeah.
whatever, is $79.99. $8,000.
That's what FN was selling the civilian saws for there for a minute. So
yeah,
that's high.
The SIG is actually one of the few companies that I can see the money in.
I like SIG.
Like what they charge.
Yeah.
Like for their 365, their 360, like any other stuff. Honest to God, I can look at their price tags and go, I kind of see this. Like you have to shoot them. Like if you've never fired one and you just went to a gun store and you were looking at it and you had to choose between like, whatever, name another brand and a SIG, and you look at that SIG price tag, you're probably going to go, but this one's several $100s less. And it's like, but you haven't fired that one.
Yeah.
Because for that one, fuck Glock.
Yeah.
Glock is less expensive to buy than SIG.
Yeah.
The thing is, to get that Glock to perform the way the SIG does off the shelf, you're going to spend at least that cost difference to get there.
That you just probably lit a fucking argument here, but I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But there are some diehard Glock guys that like there's nothing better.
I own several.
John and I were just talking about that the other day.
But I own several that I bought from you.
Yeah. that are not factory.
And then we took them even further because we got them and like my wife, under your suggestion, we brought in the trigger system that you suggested for the weapon and
the biggest thing with
the optic and da-da-da-da-da. So.
Like Glocks are just fucking ugly. So you have to spend money just to make it look good.
Well, and that was the thing too, is like, and then how do I charge for the hours I put into like redoing the double undercut on her trigger well and redoing the grip and and then I was very lucky because I got essentially a friends and family price buying one of the Silencer both of my Silencer HQ Glocks, but I guess my timing was just right or whatever, because I also essentially got a Silencer HQ treatment and only had to pay for the weapon system.
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't have to pay for all of the extra work that had been done. So I was already a couple $100 in savings there. But then I think you actually suggested the Zev drop-in trigger group.
That's easiest.
For the...
If you don't want to fuck with it and tune shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it was that, and then the optic, and then the flare, and the da-da-da-da-da. So, my 17s now are, nail drivers, but it's kind of, I think it should say Glock perfection if you spend another grand. Then they're perfect.
Right.
I think that's a Scott quote from our last debate.
Oh,
Or
really?
not last debate, but a few debates ago is perfection plus $1,000.
Yeah.
Now, reliable? Fuck yeah.
Perfection in $1,000.
Yeah.
Reliable?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hard to beat.
Yeah. Throw it in a lake, come back a month later, pick it up, shake it out, pull the trigger. It's probably going to fire.
Well, I mean,
with fresh ammunition.
John and I were talking about that the other day when we were coming back from the range at Austin, because they've got I think it's Shadow Systems. They've got their pistols on hand up there as well. And I put my hands on them at another shop. And I mean, it's nice. It's $900. But the thing is, for someone that wants a fancy Glock, that's the best way to start. Because if you buy a factory Glock, you're into it for $600. You're not going to get the slide cuts, the stippling, the undercuts, the whole 9 yards, the rest of the work, the trigger, and so on and so forth for another $300. So you buy a Shadow Systems, and then you put your RMR on it, and you call it a day.
One thing I do like about owning Glocks, though, man, is I can get parts at like a gas station. Pretty much. Fuck. It's so easy to get parts for it.
Yeah.
Wish.com, you can get your little switch.
Giggle switch.
So, but I mean, I like them now, but mine are not even close to stock.
Yeah.
I don't have any stock guns.
I don't. I
John,
take that back.
Can you ice me?
Yeah.
The only one I have is actually he and I have a match set of bolt guns, and that one's completely stock, and that's only because I just haven't gotten around to buying the chassis for it.
Right.
Like, because I want to completely re-chassis that thing. I did go in and tune the trigger out, and I think it's actually too light.
The
now.
longer you
John,
wait,
your balls was hot.
the more chassis are coming out for it. So
That's the strategy. I really like that that Oryx system from I'm gonna fuck it up.
MDT.
Yeah. So I wasn't gonna fuck it up. I was gonna say MDT, but they have that Oryx system that's just like you order. It's like $400. It shows up, and you literally just take the two bolts out, drop the system in, run the two bolts. And I think you actually turned me on to that chassis system.
Yeah. I mean, then with
For what I'm gonna do with it, it's perfect. Like I know all the other people are like, there's better precision chassis. I'm aware, but I'm not gonna go do that. This was just a far better chassis for that weapon system than.
I was gonna say, I think it was just, the Oryx or KRG's Bravo.
That was the other
either one
one
of
you sent me.
those
I don't
would
think
have.
it's Oryx. Is it Oryx?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or YX. It even has its own website.
Yeah.
And it's literally all of the chassis are $400. They might have gone up now because everything's gotten more
I think
expensive.
you're thinking of the Wooks.
No,
That's the one that.
No, I'm thinking of the MDT one, but I thought it was
the inexpensive, the mono chassis from them is called Oryx, and it's but like you don't get the adjustable stock. It's all just those pads that you add in and all that kind of stuff. So it's
My favorite chassis still is a J. Allen.
yeah.
Which
but y'all
MDT
are
owns
bougie
right
as
now,
fuck.
right?
They do, and they
Yes.
change some shit.
I do want to try the new Spur chassis.
I do too.
Yes.
Although you've got a sweet setup and a fucking like $130 chassis. Because you have that Magpul chassis on that one weapon.
Oh, that's a
it's a 22.
22.
Yeah. But it's a sweet little setup.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
for 50 yards.
for 50 yards, yeah, it's perfect.
I've told
you can shoot anybody's eye out with that one.
Yeah.
at 50
To
yards.
make sparrows go poof, which John really enjoys.
It's so much fun. makes deer hunting go by quicker.
Fucking just sit in a blind and giggle. It's so bad.
I told multiple people today that that's my favorite rifle that y'all have because it's impossible not to have a good time with it.
Yeah,
It's
you
absolutely
can't-
impossible.
Just don't sleep on 22 LR rifles that aren't like the one that you got for your 8-year-old or whatever. Like anything that's like I bought that one off of you.
That rifle, that 22.
That thing is fun as fuck.
The best way
It's
to
like-
explain that 22 is like a really nice joint. It doesn't matter what mood you're in.
It's gonna
As soon
it's
as
gonna
you
be fun.
start, you're 10 times better.
You have that AR-15,
Yeah,
the AR-22. He's got a 22
Yeah.
LR AR-15 platform. It's my favorite thing he owns.
I like to start my range days with a mag dump out of that thing and then move forward from that because I'm just like, great, I'm already in a good mood.
The thing about mine is it's the most accurate 22 I've ever shot.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
It's crazy accurate. Yeah, you have to shoot expensive ammo to get that, but it's worth it.
Expensive in the 22 world,
Well,
which is still cheap.
Well,
It's like shooting 9mm ammo.
It wasn't that bad. It was 9mm back in the day.
Yeah, 9mm back
It
in
was
the
like
day.
18 cents a round.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for 22, that's fucking expensive.
No, it's more than that, I think.
No, now, man,
Yeah.
22
I don't
now
think
is
so.
fucking God bless. I remember
It's like-
being able to go in and
it's like
smile
20
at the
bucks
people
for
at Academy and
50
walk out with a
rounds. What does that
bucket of
come out to?
fucking 22.
I don't know.
I want to say it's like 50
Yeah.
cents a round.
I do want to have a discussion with you guys because I have like the whole back end of a weapon that I now need to, but it's an AR platform. So I'm going to use the word chamber, but which really just means I need to put a barrel on it because since it's just an AR-15 platform, I can
Right.
barrel it whatever the fuck I want to. But
Yeah.
it's been abandoned, and by Texas law, it's now mine.
Oh, nice.
So I need to finish that build. So
Yeah.
we need to talk, and then I can hand it off to you. So it's built correctly.
For what?
If you could just not lose any of my springs this time, that would be fantastic.
What gun? What are we building?
Do you remember that build I got commissioned
Oh,
to
yeah,
do?
yeah.
And then he just disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that system by Texas law is now mine.
Oh.
So,
So the springs.
no. Well, because I had you take my weapon apart to replace that.
I didn't lose that spring. I know exactly where it is.
It's somewhere in your old garage.
It is in orbit right now.
And
Spring go boing.
It's
It was
been-
good.
it's been 3 years, and that company still has not gotten that color back in. So because it's like $30 for that dust
Yeah.
cover, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just order another one."
Yeah.
But they haven't gotten that FDE one back in, so that AR, the dust coverage doesn't close. Which I'm not gonna lie. After I got out of the military, I'm not
Let's say
great
when was
about
the last
closing
time
my
you closed
dust
the
cover,
dust cover?
anyways. So
Yeah, it's an optional piece.
yeah, it just lives open.
You get one of those. What are those? I can't remember the fucking brand. They don't even have dust covers.
The Smith & Wesson M&P Sports.
That one. What was the other one? It was like DT. No.
Well, it was. I think Diamondback had a slick side that
Yeah,
didn't have a dust
yeah.
cover on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just
The,
lives
the,
open.
the $399 AR.
Yeah.
I showed it to somebody, and they're like, "Why did your dust cover close?" I was like, "It's faster that way."
It's for speed enhancement.
Now my bolt doesn't even have to open that thing on the first shot. It just
For noise
less
discipline.
drag.
So I feel like I should change the topic
let's do it.
because our listeners that don't give
They've already
two
tuned out.
fucks about guns are probably whatever. So let's talk about Roe versus Roe v. Wade.
Yo,
Okay.
No, I'm gonna say one thing on it. I'm gonna say one thing on it. As a white male,
You're just happy we took away more women's rights.
As-
That's
as-
what's
to talk shit to women.
That's all this is.
no, as a white male who votes Republican, I have been called a lot of names generally, like not me specifically, but generalized. I don't give a fuck.
Well, it's
Like, I don't care. One, they didn't take the rights away. They gave it back to the states. There's nobody that says you can't do it yet. You just might have to, it might inconvenience you. You can't, whatever.
Honestly,
But
I
like,
think
I don't have an opinion on this really.
right. So
I don't care.
I was. Fuck, how do I say this without sounding like I'm taking a stance? Because I think I know what you're saying,
Right.
in that you don't care.
Like, it's
And
not
I
that
think
I
it
don't
really
care.
boils down to
It's-
is I am fucking pro-choice about just everything.
Yeah.
essentially,
it's
it's like I want to smoke pot. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like I want it. Okay, like does it impact me? I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. Then, like, I just don't care. Like,
I think there should be rules. Like,
Yes.
you shouldn't be able to have an abortion the day before the baby's due because that's pretty much murder.
right,
Like, it's
late
got
term stuff. Yeah, like
you got to make some rules.
if you were to give the birth right now, could it survive? Okay, maybe we don't need to have an abortion now. Like,
Right.
but before that,
And
okay, it's between
but
you and
like when I
between you
say
and your dude.
when I say rules, the rules should also be like, if you were raped, if it's incest, if it's whatever, it's okay. Then, like,
Right, but
that should be part of the rules.
then the counter argument is, how do you prove it? How do you prove it was rape and you just don't have regrets?
Well, yeah,
like it's it's a weird gray area, right? And that's why I've always had a very pro-choice stance. Because it's not my call. I'm not in the situation. Now, I have also had the argument of I also don't think it should be a unilateral choice. Like, I know husbands
right. Oh, I
that
kind of
the
agree
wife
with that.
got pregnant, the wife didn't want to have any more kids, so she went without talking to the husband
So the argument
and got an abortion.
the argument
I
to-
think that's fucked. Like, what if the dad wanted to have the kid?
Right. And I've heard arguments that, like, well, guys get off the hook because whatever, like, it's a woman's body, woman's choice. Okay. I had a vasectomy. When I had a vasectomy, there were some requirements that had to be met before I could get one. Like, I had to be older than 25.
Yeah.
I had to have so many kids already. And my wife had to say, okay.
Yep.
It wasn't just my choice.
And there's that
So
with
that argument of like
getting your tubes tied.
yeah.
Like, they won't on a woman. I think most gynecologists and stuff won't do it if you're like under. We have a woman in the audience. Have you ever inquired about getting your tubes tied or anything? And if you want to tell me to fuck off on this info, you can tell me to fuck off. It's none of my business. I'm just dragging you into this. So. And most gynecologists will say,
Yeah,
like, you have to
they
be
want-
like, I think it's 27 is most of the, but she had 3 kids and wanted to do it, right? And a lot of times they'll make an exception on that, where they're like, okay, well, you have 3
Yeah.
kids, you don't want any more, okay. But most of the time,
I
if you
think-
don't have kids, they'll
I-
say, like, you have to be at least 27.
I think when the doctor told me, he's like, he started asking me these questions. I'm like, dude, if you're not going to do this, I'm going to shoot them off myself. Like, like,
go get some good rubber bands.
yeah, I'll figure it out. You guys might as well do this because I'm done
Yeah.
with kids.
But I've always been extremely pro-choice. So, yes, the very logical argument is they repealed Roe v. Wade, which gave it back to the states.
Right.
So it hasn't. The Fed didn't say you're not allowed to have abortions.
Right. That's not even a thing. Yeah.
So the Fed just said it's not federally protected. Now, that being said, the way our government is set up is that any law passed by the United States, at the federal level, you cannot make a law that is less restrictive than that. But you can make laws
Unless it's
more-
marijuana. I mean, there's a lot of exceptions to this rule.
No,
But yeah.
no, you couldn't make it less restrictive. Essentially, what happened with that was so many states were like, fuck you, come enforce it.
Yeah.
And when you had more than half the nation that did it, the Fed was like, we can't enforce this anymore,
Right.
which is exactly how our government should work. Like
Right.
essentially state autonomy went, fuck you, come stop us all. And the government was like, oh, wait. So states that said it's already illegal in our state, that's a law that is more strict than the federal law.
Yeah.
The states are allowed to do that. You can make a law more strict. Because if the Fed changed the drinking age to 18 and a state said, nope, you still have to be 21 here, you'd still have to be 21 in that state. Like that's a law that's more strict.
Or when the Fed said that you had to be 21 to smoke.
Right. It didn't matter that the state said it was 18. You can't make a law that's less strict than federal law. So it gave it back to state autonomy. So what we're seeing is states that had already said you can't do it are essentially still saying you can't do it.
Right.
What I do think is going to happen is states that were on the fence are now going to make a call. And I think we're actually going to see more states that are going to end up making it legal.
I don't think we'll see that. I think I've heard that more states are going to already cracking down. They're already putting,
and that, I'm not going to lie. I love my state. I don't like our abortion law.
I don't even know what Texas is.
So like you can get charged with a felony and shit like that. Like even if it is like Plan B or like anything like that, like it's all of these, and they're calling them trigger laws. And I disagree with it. I don't, but at the same time, I do believe in like full body autonomy. Like you want to go fucking pierce yourself 19,000 times. It's your body. Fucking knock yourself out. It doesn't have anything to do with me.
Right.
I don't think the government should ever like. I disagree with a lot of the FDA shit. It's not your business. Yeah. Whatever I want to eat or ingest or whatever, that's my fucking business. If I'm going to destroy myself, it's mine. Like, so I don't know. I just, what worries me on this is now they're setting stuff up because they're claiming it's a 14th Amendment. And I don't like the precedent this is setting up for where they can invoke the 14th to go after others. Now, we've already seen the Supreme Court stance on the Second Amendment, where
which
essentially
is fucking awesome. By the way,
I like it's essentially saying that you do not need, no state can require you to have a license to carry a pistol for personal defense. And you don't need any other reason to carry a pistol other than personal defense. Doesn't need to be because of what you do for a living. Doesn't need to be any of that. It's not going to change a lot here in Texas because we got rid of our CHL law and just said,
is that the last one that the Supreme Court just ruled on?
Literally, Friday?
And it was based on a New York law that was from like 1908 or some shit.
Oh,
yeah.
It was essentially like, remember when Nebraska, they passed the shall issue law?
Yeah. And then
right. And it was essentially the same thing. Like before you had to come up with a reason and everything, whatever. Now it's just like, I filled out the application and I'm legally like I can possess a firearm. Now I should have my concealed carry.
Yeah. This is saying you don't need a reason beyond personal protection to be able to carry. So that doesn't mean the states can't require a license. You just need no additional reason other than because I feel safer with one.
Like California, they would issue you a concealed carry, but you had to be a business owner that carried cash.
Right.
Yeah, New York was the same way.
Some kind of
you had to have these extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
And saying I live in a bad neighborhood and I'm walking from my place of work to my home wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a specific threat that you were talking about.
Right.
Like, oh, well, fucking Steve over there is going to try to rob me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's Steve or not.
But by invoking the 14th on this, it opens up a lot of doors for other things. And I don't like precedential action. I don't think the Fed gives a fuck about abortions. I personally think that this is a call so that other things can be brought up.
Well, I think that, like the whole, like the left, the politicians on the left, they don't give a fuck about abortions. They're looking for a reason to stack the court at this point. And that's what they're going to fucking play this as. Is like, oh, it's time to.
And that's my thing is that I think this is setting up precedent that's going to allow other things. And that's what I'm far more worried about.
So, Scott, to add to your comment about California.
Yeah.
This was 2 days ago. The Firearms Policy Coalition tweeted out a post that the California Attorney General says effective immediately, issuing authorities should no longer require proof of good cause for the issuance of a public carry license.
There you go.
So the California is actually back on the shall issue. Yeah.
You know, like with my biggest thing with this whole, abortion thing or whatever, it isn't the fact that I care one way or another about the issue. I mean, I have an opinion, but whatever, it doesn't matter. My thing is, like, you're going to try to stack the courts because you didn't get your way. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, there was multiple Democrat senators and representatives that expressed their personal beliefs about the Supreme Court after these announcements. I don't know if I'm okay with that. Like, I was trying to figure out if, like, free speech and you can say what you want and everything like that, and it is what it is. But like, when you have somebody, you have a representative of the people nullifying the Supreme Court, saying that they don't mean anything, which is the highest court in our country. Like Maxine Waters' comments on this whole thing, like, holy shit. But like vote that lady out. Jesus Christ. Or, God. But at what point do they become held accountable for what they say? Well, or is that just not a thing?
Free speech should
when has accountability in the government ever been a thing? Like, I don't remember.
Well, we've said it before on the show, and the biggest problem with our government is that we have now gotten where the people fear its government instead of vice versa.
Yeah.
And we weren't set up that way.
Right.
We were supposed to be set up where the government was supposed to fear its people. They were supposed to be acting in a fashion to where it's like, is it making the people happy? And now we're set up to where it's the government's going to do whatever they think is best for their career, and we just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem here. And this call, that's what makes me nervous, is it's not actually about Roe v. Wade for me. It's about they're doing whatever the fuck they want to, and we just have to deal with it. And that's what makes me nervous.
Who's doing whatever they want to? The Supreme Court?
The Supreme Court and the government at large. There's too much action being taken that it's too unilateral.
Yeah. I think I don't know.
This is why all laws should be handled like American Idol. You should have to come out and pitch it on like prime time, and then everybody just text in with their vote, and that's how we decide what laws are going to go.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got a phone. Everybody can text. Yeah.
Then I could like see the whole Obama phone program. It's like everybody has a smartphone. Motherfucker, text 333-3333 with yes or no, and we'll see if the eyes have it or not. Like, I think that would be fucking great.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that.
So you have this politician that's going to run out. You're going to do like a cool like light effect show, and he's going to pitch the law. And then somebody else is going to pitch their law, and then you've got to vote.
But where does the golden buzzer come into play here?
You guys remember one?
No, see, I'm talking American Idol. I'm not talking about, you're talking America's Got Talent, where they can just.
You're right. Okay.
Or we could do it like that, where it is a panel. And like all the little mini laws have to go to like the big vote, and some of them could just golden buzzer some of the laws and go to the big vote.
I feel like they have to act out the laws with the Asian guys all dressed in black that have like the ball and the stick. You know what I mean? And the guys are like doing flips and they're holding his buddy and the ball's moving with the guy on the stick. You never seen that?
I don't know what the
fuck
Jesus.
Or they have the cool thing going in the background that exhibits like what it is that they're talking about, so you can get like, I think it'd be great.
Right?
Yeah, and you can just text your vote in. And it's going to send you the thing that says, like, do you want to continue to receive updates from us? Type yes or no if you want to get in. Be like, no, fuck off.
One thing that bothers me about the whole Roe versus Wade thing here, and like people losing their shit, is like all the women who are like super proud of all the abortions they've had. Like,
yeah, it's a little weird.
Like that's a weird flex. Like it's saying, like,
see, we should do package deals. You could get hoovered out and get your tubes tied at the same time.
That should be a deal.
Just go in. It's like 1 fee. They're already in there.
Yeah.
Like just
on the.
I have something I want to say, but I.
Damn it!
I mean, you can get that clothes hanger a little higher up in there. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
All I know is that apparently we're in a state in our country that's so fucked up right now that the French are making fun of us.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's where we're at as a country right now. That the French are making fun of us.
Yeah.
The French. Go look up the state of the French country. Not like its history or whatever. Just where they're at right now as a country. And they're looking at us going, Hey, let's make fun of them. And it's like, what the fuck? Is that where we've gotten? We are the gonna get picked last in dodgeball class right now. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Terrified.
They'll change in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Speaking of interesting things going on, have y'all seen what's happening on July 5th? And it's being live streamed.
No.
They are turning on the CERN Super Collider again.
What,
Oh, yes.
I don't know what the hell that is.
So the CERN Super Collider, the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider, that's the Super Collider over in Switzerland. CERN, it's in CERN, Switzerland. That's why they just refer to it as CERN. It's the Super Collider. It's this 27-kilometer loop, and that's how they collide atoms. So it breaks apart, and then they study what happens when you break atoms apart.
Well, I think we know, don't we? Like Hiroshima, Nagasaki, like.
Yeah, we know this is far more controlled, but yes.
Okay.
So this is
much smaller
These are
explosions.
like
it's we're colliding like two particles, not
not pounds of it.
not pounds of it. So,
I'm not a scientist,
but
so
it is
I don't really understand.
technically speaking, it is a very small, tiny, controlled nuclear explosion.
Okay.
so. If both of you had COVID and you both coughed at each other, a portion of one of those droplets, if they met in midair and hit, that's what happens in that fucking
Right, but it's at super speeds. It's
Right.
like these. So that's why they have this big tunnel. Is they inject these particles and it's this magnet system that accelerates it to these crazy things, and then they put one the other direction,
Thank you.
and then the magnets
Our
line them
audience
up.
is laughing at us because we're
Yeah.
retarded.
No, so
and I agree 100%.
here's why it's interesting. In one of their press conferences about what they're looking for when they turn this thing on is one, they're trying to actually create dark matter,
Okay.
which is supposedly what makes up like 70% of the universe. It's all the stuff we can't see. Essentially, dark matter is all the space between atoms. Like that's dark
Okay.
matter.
because it's dark.
They're looking for, because that's what the science community decided to call it. We don't know what it is. It's the dark space. It's dark matter.
Dark matter. Because everything else is matter, and we can see
Yeah, because
that.
essentially the argument is there is no empty space. It's full of dark matter, but you can move freely through it. They're looking for a fifth elemental law of physics. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. And then in the press conference, they were saying, also, string theory dictates that there's multiple universes. So in this experiment, we are going to see if we can't merge different universes together.
In a tunnel in Switzerland?
Okay. Look.
There's a couple of movies about how this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
I think I can sum this up in one easy sentence.
Don't turn it on.
They don't really know what they're looking for,
They don't know what it's going to do.
but they'll know when it hits them.
Yep.
I'm
Exactly.
good with it. I'm good with it. Whatever.
So-
I think Jeff Goldblum said it best with the fact that your scientists were so interested in seeing whether or not they could as to whether or not they should.
Yeah. So, by the way, some of the stuff that can happen when you try and like merge things like that is like develop tiny black holes and things like that. Now, I don't know if you know anything about black holes at all, but you can't turn them off. Like you can't like snuff this thing like a candle.
I'm picturing a Thanos type of scenario here.
Oh no, wouldn't
And
be a Thanos kind of scenario if they develop. So they were going to build a hadron collider in Texas, but because of one of the possibilities of a hadron collider is the development of a black hole, Texas was like, "Yep, nope, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You're not building this fucking thing." Because if they make a black hole,
What's wrong with California? Everybody loves California.
because it wouldn't stop. If they develop a black hole, it just starts eating all the matter around it,
Okay.
and every time it eats, it gets bigger. And then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's no way to stop it. So if they develop one, it just starts eating everything around it. So even though it would be in Europe, it's eventually just consumes everything.
What's on the other side of the black hole?
We don't know. That's why it's called the event horizon. We don't know what's beyond that horizon.
Well, I mean, we got to figure out at some point.
There is a string. There is a theory.
I'm okay with this.
You know, like
There is a
what's the
theory
worst that
in
can happen?
physics that because of the density of gravity on a black hole, that could actually be a quote unquote wormhole, or it could be what actually connects multiple universes, which is the theory of the multiverse. So way out there, probably not going to happen, but could happen if they merge the universes. It could literally start popping things from that universe into our universe.
I like new shit.
But sure.
Fucking clapping alien cheeks.
So it could
Let's go,
happen.
Switzerland.
I actually had this question at my bar.
That would
and
be
we were
even more
discussing it.
fun if you were the alien.
Yeah. So
No.
we had this discussion at my bar, and I was like, I was talking to my wife, and there was other people there, and I was like, okay, So if the universes collide and your doppelganger ends up here, so it's you, and I bang your copy, but from another universe, am I cheating on you?
Oh. Oh, you're not
That
playing. You're not
depends.
playing that scenario right. You got to bang both
Because
at the
no.
same time.
And she was like, I don't know, but I think it'd be weird. And I was like, okay. What about a 3-way with me and your doppelganger and you? Because technically you wouldn't be sleeping with another chick. You'd just be masturbating.
A 4-way. Get yourself involved.
See, that I think it's, that was the other question. I was like, what if I give a ham job to my doppelganger? Is that just masturbation? Am I just jerking off? Because I'm just jerking myself off, right?
It depends.
Are you now? You're gonna find out how much of a dick you are because if you're jerking you off and you don't jerk you off back, you're a dick.
Yeah, I for sure wouldn't jerk off back. Like it's my copy in this universe. Definitely that guy. All I know is that has to be the best hand job you're ever gonna get, right?
Oh, nobody knows you like you.
Yeah, it's probably like
Like, if
every
you
other
jerk
one.
your-
It's probably like every other one you give yourself.
But just like you said, you in this universe wouldn't jerk him off back.
Yeah.
So how do you know if that's what he really likes or not?
Well, I'd know by him jerking me off.
Maybe he's just
So
doing you a favor.
You're just counting on your double to be a better person than you, or a gayer person, or I don't know how you, a different kind of person. You should be the same.
Should be, but he's gonna.
You
He
should-
could,
Okay, I have a
he
question.
could have
I
a different
feel like-
series of life events.
I feel like I could talk myself into anything.
I have a question.
In all fairness, almost anybody can talk you into anything. So
If he says no and you do it anyways, is it rape?
I don't know. Can you rape yourself?
This should have been the master debate. Jeez. It's the definition of master debate.
It really is.
Oh, we can pause it there. But anyways, on July 5th, Justin's like, all right, I'm changing the programming. Yeah, but on July 5th, they're turning the CERN Super Collider back on and they're live streaming it. So, I'm going to watch it because
If I don't see Jazz jerking off his doppelganger on July 6th, it was a fail.
right? No, absolutely. It wasn't near as exciting.
I think it's a fail if you do see it, John.
But the thing is, I think this is the
It's a
first
personal
time.
failure.
It's only a fail if he gets a hard on.
No.
I just
Because then I
respect
get to
it.
choose. Which Jazz do I want?
Why do you have
Por
to
qué no las dos?
I'm going to tell you right now, I can speak for my doppelganger. We'd both bang you.
That'd be if we bust out the step stools, you could Eiffel Tower him.
Yeah, dude. Middle Eastern finger cuffs.
Boys, have y'all seen that big trend that's going around about not buying gas between July
It's the
3rd and the
3rd
5th?
and the 5th or whatever.
Not
So-
going to happen. I got to pull the camper back.
Oh, shit. Okay. So last week we made a joke about our trucks, right?
I don't
And
remember.
about how.
We do that a lot, so I don't remember exactly.
No, about gas prices.
Okay, yeah.
And he was talking, and Mikey was talking about his little truck.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, yeah, but you guys 150, 250, and
Yeah, the
450.
badge on the side tells you how much it costs to fill a tank.
Okay, I filled my tank last night. I have a 30, and I was on E. It was like 17 miles to empty. I filled my truck last night. So it filled it with 33.341 gallons of gas.
150 even. Yep.
And I was like, son of a bitch. Like, so there you go.
Yeah.
Truth in advertising, finally.
I've never had to spend 450 yet. Thank God.
Give it a couple months.
Is that because
Yeah.
it stops you at like 150?
No, even if I put it in 3 times, I've never done 450. So
Yeah. But mine, I was at the HEB and they don't have like a dollar cap on it. And it literally just stopped at 150 even to fill
Nice.
it. And it said 17 miles to empty on it, which means that I was on my reserve tank. There was nothing left. Like I was running on whatever was in
You know,
the lines.
once you hit 0, you can go about another 10 miles.
Oh, it was at 0. Like I mean, it was empty.
Yeah, when,
Like
when
empty,
it says
empty.
distance to empty and it says 0, you
if,
still have 10 miles.
you've
Yeah.
never seen low fuel, not how many miles to empty,
Yeah, but it just
just
says
low.
low
it
fuel.
just says low
Yeah.
fuel.
I've s-
You haven't
Wait,
pushed it
But
enough.
it was empty, and that thing is rated for a 33.5 gallon tank. And I put 33.3 gallons in
Yeah.
it. So it was empty. And it cost me $150 even. I was like, huh. I don't know what the odds of that are, but
I ran my Frontier so low the other day that the distance to empty was just 2 dashes. There was no, like, nothing.
empty.
I was like, I put $40 in. It gave me like just under half a tank. I'm like, yep. All right.
I don't even know if my fuel gauge would move with $40.
I don't think mine would.
Your fuel tank is also what, twice the size of mine?
I think so.
Yeah. 'Cause you got a 36, don't you? I think mine's 17.8 or something like that. So
yep.
I got a 48.
yeah.
Holy fuck.
It seems like that sucked, right? But I only fill my tank like once a month.
I wish.
But I'm only driving like 14 miles a day right now because I go from my house to my store, and then I go from my store to my house, and it's like 7 miles each way. So
The little Maverick's impressive, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we got like almost 9,000 miles on it. I think we've probably spent $110 in fuel. So
Yeah. Give or take.
it's a fair fucking argument right there. God damn. So
God damn. We put 9,000 miles on that thing since the end of March.
Yeah.
Getting a workout.
I actually went golfing last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
I went golfing with my brother when I was in Nebraska.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was a
He's like, you golf? I'm like, about once, maybe twice a year.
I could
at
drink.
the most.
yeah, I went and played last night. We just went to the par 3, but it was Jesus, it was such a mental break.
Yeah.
It was so nice. I was like,
I only have to focus on one thing.
yeah, some sense of normalcy. This is amazing. But now we've hired our first dude. Like I've got the 3rd and the 4th off.
Oh, shit balls. Jim said he threw you an invite down to the.
He did. And we are literally, my wife and I are in the debate between, do we want to go hang out with our friends at the coast, or are we all peopled out and we just want to be like,
It's going to be a lot of people.
yeah. And I'm just like,
There's going to be a lot of people.
and there's a big part of us because we run a retail establishment,
Yeah.
but it's just like, yeah, but that's also 2 days of no fucking people.
It's going
Like,
to feel like, I mean, you're going to have a good time if you go.
Yeah.
But it's going to feel like you did not have
any
a
time
break.
off. Yeah. And I've got to go right back.
Yeah.
So
If you stay home, you're going to throw so much hip.
I don't even have energy to throw hip. I'm like fucking
Well, that's the great thing is all you got to do is lay there.
lazy sex is some of the best sex ever.
Mikey's not here. I got to put the jokes in sometime.
You got a remote control bed.
I do.
Just speed that fucker up a little bit.
Let's hit the buttons.
Go full Stephen Hawking. Go full Stephen Hawking and get like the little board that you just type to talk.
That remote control bed is amazing. But yeah.
So what's Mikey doing?
Mikey's in Florida jumping on planes.
Yeah.
Back to the Roe versus Wade thing. I have one more comment I got to make about that thing. This kind of goes back to one of the debates we did about business ideas.
Oh, fuck.
We need to do a dating app. We do. Vasectomiesonly.com.
Oh.
It's for all the fucking people that are going batshit fucking crazy right now. There's an answer.
It's true.
It'd be like,
But do like reverse Bumble?
all the dudes over 30. Like 35. I don't know what the average age of a vasectomy is.
I don't know.
It can't be younger than that.
Dude, I feel like it would be really easy to pick, like, if I was on one of those dating apps or whatever, and if I was, like, I had a vasectomy, I'm very happily married, but if I was on one of those dating apps or whatever, I think I would just go put on there and just put, like, fixed and have salary. And I feel like I would just get, like, one ding after another. Like,
So the average age of a vasectomy is
Will
35.
pay for date. 35? Yeah.
35.
yeah. Fixed can afford health insurance.
Like, we'll take you to dinner unless you have an OnlyFans. And then I'm only spending $6 to see your butthole, not 100.
I think that's fair. I think it's totally fair.
$6 a month, I think. Right?
No, you can cancel.
Oh, well, there you go.
One and done. Check that box.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think you're onto something with that dating app, though.
Somebody's probably already done it.
Yeah.
Fixedandfeelingfroggy.com.
I think you could just call it fixed. FIXD. Just call it an app. Fixed. You just
Fixed.com.
I don't know why they call it fixed. You're technically broken.
that's you know what? Is it broken if it's intentionally broken though?
Well, it doesn't work.
Yeah, but that's like if I voluntarily cut the mufflers out of my truck. It's not broken. It's just modified.
I like modified.com too. Dating app.
That's going to be a very different dating app. It's going to be very different.
Yeah. If you're gonna know about that modified app, that's probably you're gonna get surprises.
Yeah. Bunch of fish
Populated by ties. Ladyboy.
That's gotta already be an app.
lips. Yeah, that's
Oh,
not
you
modified.
fucking know it.
Yeah.
Modified.
Oh,
All right. Well, I don't know much else.
yeah.
Yeah, we discussed politics we know nothing about.
Guns.
Physics we know nothing about.
The only
Guns
thing that we knew
sorta
something about was guns. It was just
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we started with that. Started with something we know about.
Well, hold on. Never claimed subject matter expertise on fuck all around here.
No, not even guns. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
I'm a subject matter expert on the whiskey that's in my glass.
And that starts with I like it or I don't like it.
That's it.
That's
That's it.
And all your ice is gone, so you don't like it enough.
I'm just so used to it being so hot in here.
I know. It's really nice in
It's
here right
very
now.
nice today. Today's yeah.
And by
The only things that dripping right now are our glasses.
by the next podcast, we will have Swampy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is 100 proof, so
Yes.
So next podcast, we won't be on it.
next podcast we're gonna be in fucking ski jackets.
Let's think of our schedule here. What do we got coming
Yeah.
up? We got the 4th of July. So
Yep.
we're not going to be here on the 5th.
nobody will be here.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to reschedule for 5th or 6th,
Well, I mean, we've done it before. Like
I
we
mean-
don't record a Memorial Day.
and then we won't be back.
We
Then
won't-
John and
yeah.
I and Dave will
Yeah.
all be gone the next one. So we'll have to figure something out.
Yeah.
Shit. My wife has a fair argument. She was like, it's summer in the Texas. Maybe that should be all season break. Fair argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Swampy's going to take the edge off in here, so it'll be downright reasonable.
We hope.
Yeah, valid. Yeah.
Yeah. This is why there's no energy in the show. It's actually nice out here. So
Yeah.
it's just like, whiskey, cigars.
Yeah.
Right.
We
The
have
first
we
time
have
we
no
actually
drive to finish this, so we can
Yeah.
go back inside for the air conditioning for about 10 minutes before we come back and do anything else. So,
fucking
Yeah.
wrap it up. You did such a good job. Pay the bills.
oh boy, let's pay the bills again. So this was brought to you by warfightertobaccos.com. Use
It's
the code.
Warfighter Tobacco. There's no
Yeah.
plural on the end of it.
Yeah. God damn it. Lost my train of thought again. Hey, FTFO is 15% off on that one. OWellness.us. That is Freedom Friends 25 for a quarter off your order there. And Icy Tech coolers. It's Freedom Friends 10 for 10% off your cooler needs, which, let's face it, guys, we still live in Texas. It's fucking hot even when it's not.
I still want one of them big bastards for an ice bath.
Right?
I don't know where we would store it.
Who cares?
It's like a coffin.
I know.
We just set that bitch up right next to where the humidor is going to go.
Yeah.
You just pipe it outside when we need to drain it and refill
I
it.
feel like in this state, you could totally get away with that instead of a truck box.
Yeah.
So one of those toolbox things, just stick it in there as a truck box.
We
and just
should
be
hit
like,
up Icy Tech for a display model.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted 4 big ones so we could do all of us just in ice baths doing a podcast once.
I would do that.
Right.
or send us 4
That'd be a
little
very
ones so we can
short
all
show.
keep personal ice buckets.
There you go.
That'd be a very short show.
It was-
In more than one way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some little ones as individual ice buckets, though, would be nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do they have babies?
Yeah, they sent one to Mikey. They didn't send one to the rest
Did
of
they?
us. So apparently we're flogging their shit and we didn't even get
yeah.
a free
Mikey didn't even bring it in here to show it off because
What a
he knew he
fucking
would steal
tool
it.
one. No, he keeps it personal.
Oh.
Selfish fuck.
So we'll finish this the same way we
Yes.
started it. Fuck you, Mikey.
Yeah.
Right?
You bastard.
So there's what do we got? Tell your mom.
Tell your friends.
Tell your fucking mom's friends. There's this mediocre shit show with 4 dirtbags, sometimes 5.
Yeah.
Sometimes we bring a random dirtbag in, kick one of us off. Yeah.
But I'll raise my glass.
Yes.
Thank you. For
Say
being
thank
my
you to you
freedom
boys.
friends.
Being my fucking freedom friend.
Goddamn right.
Even you, Scott.
He's gonna leave me
Fuck
hanging.
you, Jed.
There it
There we
was.
go.
I was waiting for it.
3 little
Oh,
things,
yes.
boys.
Now it's a show.
Always, always.
See, give you time.
Right?
Your piece of shit comes out.
Hey, see?
Yeah.
There it is.
That first one, as always, is Smoke On.
Drink on. My favorite.
And god damn it, boys.
Freedom the fuck on. We'll see you next week.